Okay, we are ready to start doing our buildup on the impeller now. One of the things that I got to be really careful about is not overheating this. This being stainless steel in this thin wall section in here, it'd be really easy to overheat it. You don't need to do that on stainless. So critical temperature that we want to make sure that we stay underneath is going to be at 500 degrees. I've got this digital thermometer right here that I'll be using to periodically check it and just make sure that we don't go over that temperature. But ideally we want to stay below that anyway. So you may see me do a little build up, come off, and if I check it and I don't come right back down, it's because it's a little bit hot and I need to let it cool down just a little bit. So we'll start with a preheat like we always do. I got a little temp stick here that I can use as well. 200 degrees, that's where you should preheat your workpiece to before you start, is 200 degrees. So let's go ahead and fire up the torch and start building this thing up. All right, here we go. This is gonna make a little noise when I pop it off now. A little bit of residual powder coming down from the testing. It's already plenty hot right there. Plenty hot. We're gonna have to do some on and off because that's getting hot quick. That was our bond coat. This is gonna be our buildup coat right here. Need to let it cool off a little bit. It's getting close to 500 right there. I'm gonna have to let it cool. This is what I was talking about doing. We've got to spray it, let it cool down some, spray it a little bit. It's just a small, thin section there, so you got to be really careful about it. Got to let it cool. Don't want to get it too hot. It's doing good though. The buildup's looking great. Cools down pretty quick. I've been keeping it under the 500 mark there. Man, that torch gets heavy after a little bit. Getting pretty close. All right, you ready? It's going to be really close to where we want it for our turning, but I expect with it being kind of thin, some shrinkage going on there. So I'm going to let it cool again, check it, because we're probably going to put one more pass across there.
Yep.
Loud. Think we're going to be where we need to be. So we're getting right around that 285 right there. So our finish is 220. $290 right there on the end. Again, we're going to let it cool off just for a minute here, and I'll check it again and see where it's at. So every time I'm checking it like this, we're right around the 450. I had it right at the 500 degree mark on one of those checks, but just wait about a minute and it'll cool on down some, enough where you can hit it again with the torch. Keep turning it off so we're not wasting fuel, wasting gas. I think we're going to be good there. I don't know how much more it's going to shrink. See, that was 275 right there on that outer little bit. I think I want to hit it one more time. All right, let me do another check right out here on the very end. It's around 275. I think I want to go ahead and hit it one more time. We should be good right where we're at, but I just want to double check. So we're cooled down to 350 right there. So let's go ahead and give it another lick of powder. Right on that end. I think this is going to be good. Yeah, I think that's going to be good. So we're going to call it done with our buildup right there where we're at. These larger diameters, that's where it's handy to have a pair of 12-inch calipers. So we're measuring right at 4.3, and it's going to shrink down just a little bit. It usually shrinks about 10 thousandths, especially on something that thin there. So I think that's going to be good to go. I'll turn that on low, and I'm going to grab my fan. We'll put my fan on here so it could rapid cool it down. All right, let me grab my handy Real Craft extension cord over here. All right, we're gonna let it cool. That's just how I always cool the parts. You just put a fan on it, let it blow and let it blow cool naturally with the air like this until it gets down to where you can hold your hand on it. All right, we've had it on there for about 10 minutes, the fan. It's already cool to the touch. There's actually no warmth to it at all. So we're ready to go ahead and get all this cleaned up, and we'll start doing our turning. Before I take the welding blanket off, I want to go ahead and just kind of clean some of this. That way it catches some of the dust. We'll give it a check again with the caliper just to see where we kind of finished up after we cooled it down. It's right around 4.280. So we've got about 60 thousandths to machine off of it, which is right around the target I shoot for with our buildup. So I try to get at least 50 thousandths and try not to go over 60, 70 thousandths total. Keep your speeds moderate here, moderately low, so that you don't burn up a carbide insert or a carbide tool. We're just going to be using my insert tools here. And take light passes. About 20 thousandths a pass max is what you want, so that's what we'll start with right here is 20 thousandths. And it would help if my feed rod was engaged. I still had it in lead screw there, so there we go. Slow that feed down. Actually, I had it in 10 thousandths. This is 5 thousandths pass right here. Everything's looking good. Let's give it a mic and see where we're at. $261. So we got 41 thousandths still to come off of it. So continue on with our cut. We'll take another 20 thousandths here. Should be down to last couple of passes here. Let's see where we're at. 241. So we got 21 thousandths to come off. So I'm going to split that in half. We're going to take a 10 thousandths pass, mic it, and then finish it out at 4.220. I'm going to go ahead and speed it up. We were running 121. This is 158 right here. 10 thousandths. Got a good looking finish on it. Let's go ahead and finish it out. Should be our last pass right here. All right, 231. So we have 11 thousandths. Should be our finish. And when I get done, I want to clean that face up there as well. Just clean it up. 10 and 11. That looks nice. Give it a mic check. And right on the money, 220. Let's go ahead and work on that that face. Get this cleaned up too. going to take a couple thousandths across there. Clean that face up. I touched off there and dialed in 2 thousandths. Okay, there we go. So we got to do our chamfer here, and then we need to go to the inside and get this cleaned out. Go in there and skin our ID just a little bit, get rid of that high spot in there in the bore. So it's looking good. Everything looks good. Let's start with a 2-degree angular infeed with the compound here and see if we can just kind of clean that inside out. So this is the 3/4 inch boring bar that was made by Steve Barton over at Solid Rock Machine. He made this and gave it to me. We're using the carbide insert, the formed carbide insert in. It's got like the chip breaker in it. This style here is a TPG style insert. Looks like that's working pretty good. We definitely have quite a bit to come off there. Yeah, we got that high spot in there that we're cleaning up. All right, well, I think we had some really good success with our flame spray build up there and turning our seal ring. We've got everything machined now nicely to size, so that part is complete. We're moving on to our last step of the process, and that's where we're going to be turning the OD of the impeller down to 5.5 inches. If I remember right, this was right at 7 inches. Let's do a quick measurement here with our 12-inch calipers. Yeah, so it's right at 7 inches, just a little bit over 7. So we're going to be taking 1.5 inches off the OD of this. So I'm assuming what he is doing with that is that he's going to have this as a backup or use it for a different pump. And this was really common in the years with my dad. We would have the electric motor shops because they always worked on a lot of water pumps for the local utilities and like pool pump systems for condos, condominiums, places like that. And they would often bring us a commercially made impeller such as this, sometimes bronze or brass, stainless, even plastic, and they would have us turn the OD down so that it would fit an involute for a different size pump. So a common job there for impellers like this. So we'll get a tool set up. We got fresh coolant in the Monarch now, so we'll go ahead and see if we can get our OD turned down to size.